You're watching Apocalypse and the End Times here on God TV. My name's Paul McGuire, your host, and we're going to get into an absolutely mind-blowing, fascinating journey that may appear to be somewhat like science fiction, but it's science. And my guest has documented proof of his extensive research. His name is Anthony Patch. He's a researcher, an author, speaker, the author of 2 novels, Covert Catastrophe, Diamonds in the Rough, and he has been researching in the fields of physics, cosmology, biology, and computer science and theology for over 25 years. So, Anthony, it is really a pleasure and an honor to have you here on the program.
Thank you, Paul.
I don't know where to begin. Well, I do know where to begin because his research is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. You're going to be gripped. Let's first talk about CERN and the Large Hadron Collider. People have heard about that, or most people have. So they've seen pictures of it and all kinds of speculation and theories. Yeah. Give us a quick definition. First, just from a purely scientific point of view, okay, what the purpose, what the collider is, what its purpose is.
Okay. Well, the scientific purpose is to take particles and accelerate them towards reaching the threshold with the speed of light, and to then collide them, fracturing them into smaller particles for the purpose of trying to determine the basis for creation, trying to find the building blocks of the universe and all known life. And that's what science will tell you in the public arena. But where my research has led me is into the hidden agenda at CERN. And that's really been my calling from the Lord, is to really reveal the truth behind the public agendas at CERN, which is a nuclear research facility utilizing a particle collider.
Now, it's in a giant, somewhat circular shape that covers, how many miles is that whole collider?
Yeah, as you travel along it, you cover 27 miles.
27
17
miles.
kilometers.
And tell our viewers where this is located.
Well, geographically on the map, it's located on the border between Switzerland and France. It's near Geneva. It's a sovereign state unto itself.
What's a sovereign state unto itself?
That would be a self-governing body. They are much like the Vatican.
So the collider, I never heard this before. The collider is in its own state like the Vatican?
And similar to Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia.
Well, I'm going to ask you later why that is.
Sure.
So it's based on, I guess, their theory or research or whatever, that if they crack open atomic, subatomic particles, just crack them open, they are saying, at least publicly, that they can find the secrets to the origins of the universe, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But you say that this is not like speculation. It's from your research, you're saying that behind the scenes, they have a hidden agenda that they're not admitting to the public.
That's correct.
Tell us what your research leads you to believe their hidden agenda is.
Well, it's interesting because today it is no longer hidden.
Oh.
They are not hiding their goals. In fact, they're in a pronounced fashion announcing it. Last year, the previous director of the Collider facility announced that their goal, openly, is to open a dimensional gateway to another dimension. You might call it a portal. And when you begin to put that in the context of our everyday reality, that seems absurd. And he also made the statement that we don't know what we will find or what may come through from the other side, but we're willing to risk it.
This is mind-blowing. So we're not talking even really about your research. We're not talking about speculation.
Nope.
And I want to emphasize to our viewers, and you need programs like this, especially here on Apocalypse and the End Times, you need to text, email, Facebook, whatever it takes to send the link of programs like on Apocalypse and the End Times like this to your friends, because those people that are interested in these kinds of things, and that's a huge percentage of the population, all age groups, they want to hear what a man like Anthony Patch has discovered. And they're not going to hear about it in the news media, so you need to contact him via social media. And, you know, God TV supplies a link for you, and it's a no-brainer. You need to do that. That's an important part of sharing your faith. And I personally think far more effective than some of the old-fashioned ways. So Anthony, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is the published statement of the former head of CERN, and he's talking about, did he use the word entity? What word did he use?
No, he didn't assign a title to what might come through. He just that he didn't know what would come through.
He didn't know what would come through. So that's kind of ominous.
It is.
We're cracking open a hole in this dimension.
Yep.
Am I correct?
Yep.
And we don't know what would come through. Well, just without imposing something on it, that has a ring of a certain amount of danger. I mean, he's not talking about radiation coming through. So to me, especially, and I'm going to ask you more in a moment, especially with the research I've done into their occult and mystical belief system, the inference to me, but I want to get it from you, is some kind of entity. So let's ask you that question.
Sure.
From your research, tell us what you think he was implying, and what has your research revealed about what's really going on?
Well, the research has revealed that they're already in communication with the other side, with entities on the other side.
Very stop. This is mind-blowing. The research has shown that they're already in communication with what on the other side?
Well, in my frame of reference, and I think we share this, these would be demonic entities.
And what have they assigned a word to the communication to these beings or whatever are in another dimension?
No, other than to say that these perhaps are our benevolent ancestors from the stars who are coming to solve all of our problems and remove all of our ills from our society.
This is so powerful. This is what you're talking about. Is a paradigm shift that's just about ready to detonate on planet Earth.
That's correct.
This is going to shake up people's faith who are not prepared. That's another reason why you need to send this program to your friends. This is going to shake up the faith of many Christians and people of belief and non-belief. It's going to shake their very view of reality to the core, just like when Darwin's theory of evolution was promoted. It just tore up people's view of reality. You know, God didn't create us. We're evolved animals. I mean, that just ripped up the fabric of the entire sociological, spiritual structure of the planet.
The paradigm shift.
Right, a paradigm shift. And so we're right. Well, has the paradigm shift begun, or where are we in terms of that?
In the popular culture, it has begun because we're seeing the predictive programming in the mass media.
In the films
and commercials.
Now, share with our viewers what the term, and I agree with you about the term, it's an accurate term, but share with our viewers just briefly what the term predictive programming is and what it's meant to do.
Think of it in terms of brainwashing.
Right.
We are predicting the behavior of humans using human behavior modeling in the computer, using a program, that if we put out this stimuli, we will achieve this type of response in human beings, no matter the culture, no matter where they live. And so this is going to what we're going to talk about in a moment, is the adiabatic quantum computer, which is artificially intelligent. Predictive programming, in essence, is saying if we create this program, a television program, a movie, and we put in images that are violent, we put in images about portals, we talk about aliens being benevolent, then it becomes sort of, in their mind, a self-fulfilling prophecy that people will believe the lie, become victims of that grand deception of predictive programming, and therefore will follow lockstep whatever it is they're being fed, so that you are able to modify their behavior and make them become part of the New World Order and follow the beast system.
I absolutely agree with you, and I just want to share with our viewers this science of predictive programming that you were talking about, and it is a science. I mean, this goes back before H.G. Wells, the great science fiction author, and Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. They were employing predictive programming. And the Star Trek series, developed by Gene Roddenberry, as you know, was for the purpose of predictive programming, to promote a UN global government.
Right.
And now, as you just said, all these science fiction, superhero, technological singularity movies.
Transhumanism, Transformers.
Right. Everything from Captain America, it is just embedded with this.
In the culture.
Exactly. And so young people, they're conversant in what you're saying.
Yep.
But more importantly, what you're saying, these movies like Divergent and I forgot the other one, The Hunger Games. You know, those movies are embedded with subconscious, subliminal messages.
Absolutely.
They're not designed to be, in my opinion, just entertainment. They're employing predictive programming.
And let's go to the recent television show, Lucifer, how they portray Satan as a debonair ladies' man, British accent.
Wow.
You know, they're making Lucifer
Right.
look good.
Right. Making
So
Lucifer look
talk
good.
about programming people
Right.
into believing a lie.
Right.
It's right in our face.
It's right in our face.
Yep.
So people being programmed, and we know that the result of this is already measurable. I was doing research the other day, and the fastest growing religion in America is Wicca, which, as you know, is paganism and witchcraft. And number two is Islam.